Well, it is my privilege and honor today to welcome Sergey Ryazanskiy. He is an astronaut, a hero of the Russian Federation, a motivational speaker, an author, a space photographer, and also, if I may add, the world's first scientist who became a spacecraft commander. Sergey, is anything that I missed out?
I think it's enough. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm so inspired just by talking about you and just introducing you. It is absolutely inspiring what all you've done so far. And a cosmonaut. Do you get questions about that? Like when you introduce yourself as a cosmonaut?
Uh, Often people are just surprised that what
Hmm.
is so
Hmm.
rare profession. I'm not joking, but yeah, I never dreamed to become a cosmonaut, but
Hmm.
it happened.
That's amazing because I would assume, generally when you would talk and be like, since the age of 6, I've always dreamt to be an astronaut or a cosmonaut. How did you come about arriving at the fact that this is what I want to be in life?
Absolutely by chance, because I dreamed to be a scientist, biologist, and
Hmm.
I graduated from Moscow State University. By the way, I studied at the most popular department now, Department of Virology. So my background is biochemistry and virology.
Hmm.
Then I switched to another field, and my PhD is in space medicine and human physiology. And just one day, I was invited by my boss. I was working in a science institution that was responsible for biosatellites and medical support of the space flights. And he gave me a piece of paper and said, write down your application to a cosmonaut corps. Russian Academy of Science decided that they would like to select scientists to cosmonaut corps.
Hmm.
So, as we know, scientists are either very smart or very healthy. I am healthy. I was I was the only scientist they were able to select.
Amazing. My God. That's wonderful. I always find it very inspiring when people switch careers or when they go from one, stream to another, because I believe you carry so much of that other stream and you really lead into new thinking and new ideas. Do you think it has
Absolutely.
helped you to be from an absolute different field and enter here?
From the first glance, it is absolutely another topic, absolutely another sphere of life. But you can find many common things because, for example, scientists are studying whole life. They're reading articles from another science labs. They're participating in different science conferences. Uh, Main job of cosmonaut is to study, not to fly to space, but we're studying every day. You need to know absolutely everything. All
Hmm.
engineering systems, IT, programming thing, performing science experiments in physics, in chemistry, in biology, in medicine. Um, by the way, you need to know how to provide medical emergency help to your crew members if they got sick.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, uh, I was fixing some teeth problem, for helping my colleagues, and even we performed a surgery on one of our US colleague on board. So we're also human
Wow.
beings. We can be also sick. So maybe this is the most interesting part of our work, except flights.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
here on Earth, you're studying, you're meeting people from different fields,
Hmm.
and it is
Hmm.
just amazing.
I love how you just said here on Earth, like your workspace is absolutely, literally in space. That's amazing. Just for your information, I am a medical graduate, so I studied to, be a medical doctor. But I was so attracted by media that I got into it. But I do believe that a lot of those traits and habits and all of that do somewhere help me in understanding people, in engaging with them. So I can absolutely understand what you're doing. I can't believe you're doing surgery as well. Do let me know if there's an opening for another cosmonaut. I can help you there. But that's amazing. I do know that a cosmonaut is regularly subjected to long periods of stress, as you might know, both mental and physical. Now, what can we learn about dealing with such stressful situations from your experience?
Yeah, it is true that we're surrounded by stress, and of course in space during space flights, and of course here on Earth, we also have stress every day, watching TV, working, coming back home and having some problems with our kids. It's also stress. Um, we have special training to be stress resistant, to be cold-minded, to act as professional, not to let your emotions or negative thinking to interfere with your professional activity. One of such training is skydiving. And it is not just simple skydiving. You have microphone inserted in your helmet. You have special cards placed on your arm, and you need to solve this task on this card
Hmm.
before opening the parachute. So
Oh my God.
you're falling, and you are thinking, you're doing some math or logical tasks, and then our psychologists analyze this tape recording, analyze your voice, how correct you were, how fast you were, how many
Hmm.
bad words you used during this
Because you're in
process.
a stressful situation, right?
Sure. So
Wow.
they're analyzing voice and evaluating the level of stress, and
Hmm.
then they're giving you personal recommendations. So you need to like change your breath, or you need to prepare yourself for something
Hmm.
else. Just main thing is to calm down. Our
Hmm.
emotions are not helping us to think clearly in a really dangerous or stressful situation. We need to avoid
Hmm.
interfering of
Hmm.
emotions with what we're doing. But we're still human beings, so we're not robots. We have our emotions, we have conflicts on boards,
Hmm.
arguing, but you're always remember that the walls of the International Space Station are only 1.5 millimeters thick. So you're living in
Wow.
constant danger, and
Hmm.
all these people that are surrounding you, they your life depends on them. They are
Hmm. Hmm.
responsible for the ability to survive of the whole crew. So you need to solve all problems. You need to create this positive atmosphere inside the crew, to have fun together, to negotiate some problems if you have some, and so on.
I think you perfectly hit the nail on the head. Being able to just separate emotions from logical clarity can help us so much in just, solving the problem and being more solution oriented. Because, like you rightly said, sometimes we focus on the problems, and I think that's where we get stuck and we don't kind of arrive at the solution. I love how they're putting you in, simulated pressured environments so that you can kind of think on your feet.
Yeah, also we have, for example, survival training. You have a chance to land in unpredicted region of our planet. So you need to learn how to survive in winter conditions, in mountain conditions, landing in the sea, in desert, for example. So it is also some sort of psychological training, because you're in really uncomfortable situation. We're not
Right.
used to survive in such wild conditions. So this is also nice psychological training.
Amazing. And this is right now, we spoke about being more individually, being able to navigate a situation. We also want to talk a bit about teamwork here, because teamwork is perhaps one of the most crucial elements of a crew that sets out for space travel. And I'm sure you'll agree. Now, what are the key components of an effective team that truly delivers results?
You're absolutely right. And I think that working in team is the most important skill that every human being should have, because we're always working in team. Our family is our team. Our friends are also our team. Our colleagues, our clients. We need to learn how to deal with different people. We're on the International Space Station, where all crew members are from different countries with different mentalities, with different sense of humor, religious education, professional experience. And you are not selecting your crew members, but your life will depend on them.
Wow,
So
that's some perspective.
yeah, main thing is to learn how to accept people the way they are, with all their positive and negative sides. We just respect each other the way we are. It's impossible to change the uh, adult human being personality. Um, we're already grown up with our character, with our traditions, with the ways we are used to deal with problems. But we always can communicate and negotiate some um, sort of behavior. Like, okay, today we had this slight small conflict. Um, let's talk about it and find a way how we can just avoid any tensions. And so communicating, giving feedback, asking your guys, hey, it is, for example, Friday today, we finished our working week. So what do you think, what we should change, how we acted during spacewalk, or maybe we can do something better in communication with other part of the crew or with mission control center or something else. So this some sort of flight debriefs
Right.
after each week really helps to keep this nice, friendly, positive atmosphere inside the crew.
You're so right. Communication is key to really driving positive relations. And it's very much like how we are with a family, right? We can't choose them. We can't choose to have or not have them. They are a part of our life, and we just have to accept the way they are, how rightly said. And does it also have something to do with conflictology, which is an interesting word that I caught on your profile? Is that something, an interest that you have or an expertise? I didn't even know conflictology exists till I read it with you.
It is part of a small group psychology, because you will always have some sort of conflicts. It's just impossible to live without conflicts, even with the people you love or your best friends. But you need to learn how to argue respectfully, how to talk respectfully with other people, how to avoid our emotions interfering also communication with other people. You need to calm down, you need to find the right words. You must come back if you have any questions or problem, or you're disappointed with something.
Hmm.
You need to talk about it, because
Right.
if you will just keep silence, then all these negative effects will just strike together. So it is also, I would say, everyday work, how we
Hmm.
communicate inside our families, how we communicate with our colleagues, trying to create this mutual understanding.
Fantastic. I think two words that I'm definitely going to take from there is argue respectfully. So well put and so crisp and yet so important to remember. I wanted to ask you, space missions can be one of the loneliest journeys that one can take. And how can one prevent themselves from, falling into a pit of despair and still maintain his drive?
Uh, you're absolutely right. It is one of the biggest problems because, okay, we're training for many years. We're prepared to go up there and to work for 6 months without weekends, but uh, we're we're leaving back here our families, our friends, our usual ways to relax. For example, I love running in park near my house.
Hmm.
There is no such way to do in space,
Right.
but you need to be creative and to find
Hmm.
your own ways how to support your crew members. Um, every person is getting at some point this psychological uh, or emotional exhaustion. They're
Hmm.
getting psychologically tired. And
Hmm.
this favorite work, really amazing work, is not giving you the positive support.
Hmm.
And there is no light in your eyes, and you're making simple mistakes because everything is boring and you already want to go back home. For example, I got such feeling on during both flights. On the fourth month of my flight, it's like, well, it's enough. I want
Wow.
to go back. But you need to be creative and to organize some sort of fun thing
Hmm.
on board the
How did
station.
you deal with that? Like, were you able to snap out of it? Because I'm sure you don't have psychologists on board to kind of talk you out of that mood. So, how do you handle that?
We are organizing different events. For example, we
Hmm.
have two guitars on board the station. So sometimes we were getting together, singing songs. We
Hmm.
had our own tradition each Saturday after our evening meal. We were getting together and watching some movie together and
Hmm.
then discussing this movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
Once I was flying all over the space station in a costume of the big hairy monkey. Please do
Hmm.
not ask me how I smuggled the costume of the big hairy monkey on board the station, but I managed to do it.
Hmm.
And that was fun because everyone was
Hmm.
laughing and making pictures. And I see how they're um, getting back to their normal conditions with everyone
Hmm.
is smiling and they have back the light in their eyes and it is fun. For
Hmm.
example, one flight we had our Italian crew member, and what Italians miss most,
Hmm.
of course, pizza.
Pizza,
So
yes.
we made pizza party on board the space station. We
That's
cooked pizza.
amazing.
So we're celebrating holidays together. It is so so fun to
Hmm.
receive a present on your birthday, for example, and
Hmm.
you realize that people were thinking about you and about present for your birthday something like 8 or 9 months ago. They prepared this present because they have no way to immediately send it on board the station.
My
So
God, that's so thoughtful. I wouldn't have thought of that. Yes, you're right.
uh, so celebrating New Year together, different other holidays,
Hmm.
playing some games on board the station when we have time. Of course, usually we are busy, but still
Yes.
you need to find some spots
Hmm.
to spend time together, because team is not only about working together.
Hmm.
Team is
Right.
about doing something together, and you
Hmm.
need also to do some fun, interesting things. And during this, you're getting to know people better, because they're
Hmm.
not official atmosphere. They're not uh, working together anymore. They're just having
Right.
fun together.
Hmm.
And you see if you have any conflicts, if you have any difficulties, if
Hmm.
one person is sick or tired, so you can later talk with him and somehow support. This is
That's
helping.
amazing. That this is like your family in space, and this is all that you have. You have no exchange. You can't, leave the door and walk out after an argument. This is where you are. That must be challenging, but also very entertaining. What is the longest time that you've been on a flight?
My longest flight was 6 months.
Six
Uh,
months.
yeah,
And
so
what was the one thing that you missed the most? Like you said, the day I go back to Earth, this is what I'm going to do.
it is funny thing, but I was missing shower.
Oh my God.
It
So,
is no way to have shower in space. Uh, you are doing
that,
sport every
hmm,
day for 2 hours. You
hmm.
must do some sport, and to clean yourself, you're just using wet towels.
Wow, for all of 6 months.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't never thought of that. That like a thing that you feel is so basic to everyday need becomes a challenge up there.
So yeah, of course you're getting used to it, but
Hmm.
you're still missing just simple things that we do not value in our life.
Right, right. I'm gonna enjoy my shower tomorrow really well. Just the feel of water on your skin, I think, is something that you would miss. That's amazing. Um, I was, in fact, going to ask you, that yes, cosmonauts work hard, but enjoying is also so essential, which you've just shared. And it is so heartwarming to see the amount of efforts you all put in to ensure that the team morale is at the right level. I wanted to ask you, how important is discipline in critical missions, and how do you ensure you stay disciplined? Because, like you said, it's without weekends. So you're going to, you're sure you may feel some days like not really following the clock one day. How do you do that?
Well, you're getting used to this discipline during your training, because you're training for many years and you have schedule for every day. You have special person that is responsible for your schedule. When my wife was asking, "Hey, darling, when we will go to a vacation?" I was saying, "Hey, just call this guy. He knows better." Because he is responsible for my schedule. Uh,
Hmm.
and when you're arriving on board the International Space Station, you still live according the schedule, and you're used to act according to instructions, according to the rules, because your life, the success of the whole mission, will depend on them. During
Hmm.
spacewalks, if you forget about safety rules, safety features, you will just die. If you fly away from station, you have no chances to go
Hmm.
back. So all these small details help you to keep this internal discipline in any emotional condition that you may have.
Right. So what I understood is having someone else accountable also for yourself kind of really helps, because then it's like someone checking on you, or at least you're answerable to someone. And also this is a lot of life depending on you. So I don't think you have the lag to be like, oh, I don't feel like working today. I totally understand.
Yeah, but then
Amazing.
first of all, you're starting with working with this person, and he's helping and sometimes controlling you. But later, you are starting to do the schedule by yourself. And you realize that this is really important because, for example, now I have so many projects. I am the head of the biggest school kids organization here in Russia. More than 2 million kids are in my organization. I'm traveling
Wow.
a lot. I'm writing books. I'm having photo exhibitions in different countries and all over Russia. I am giving talks to different companies as motivation speaker. So I live according the schedule, and
Hmm.
my Cosmonaut experience really helped me to be efficient, running at the same time many different, absolutely different projects.
Amazing, amazing. I absolutely love how you've given new perspective to the people who live on Earth. And I'm definitely appreciating the simple pleasures of life that we have here. Sergey, this was a wonderful chat. It has been such a privilege to chat with you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Shamari.